Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash, and double honor to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to the elect that scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing its truth and sincerity and meekness without wavering. This is your brother Arshiar from the GMS Cleveland Church, and I'm back with another lesson. And Lord willing, it is edifying to one of the Lord's elect. All right, and we're going to hop right into it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we're going to hop right into it. This is from Redacted with Natalie and Clayton Morris. All right. And it says this is an extinction level event, and Palantir just got exposed. CIA whistleblower sounds the alarm. So a whistleblower is pretty much somebody who reveals information, secret information, if you might say, about a certain entity. Okay, like CIA or secret documents of the government or whatever it may be. So you're gonna watch in this interview, right? This segment, a lot of information. But Esau's technology, man. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that real quick. All right. Because in the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter, something was going to be increased at the last days, man. All right. So this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, O Daniel Allah, shut up the words, right? Shut up the words and seal the book, right? So the whole Bible was sealed for a period of time, okay? And that time is now. That's why it says, even to the time of the end, right? This is the time of the end. All right, the book is not sealed anymore. But it says, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased, meaning technology, okay, has truly been increased. You had the first, second, third industrial revolution. Now you have the fourth, which is man with machine, okay. So in this video, he's going to speak about Palantir, okay, which I believe the word Palantir means to see afar. Okay, and this whole company, okay, it's a technological company developing pretty much spyware. They develop all types of, if you might say, um, a grid to watch, track people. See, but nevertheless, I'm about to play this video. Man. All right.
You about the
I'm
extinction
not going to
level
speak
event that
very
is coming,
much.
and now we have our
I'm just going to
clearest
let you
sign
hear,
yet that it's
right,
being
the drop.
accelerated. But
All
some
right.
brave
But
individuals are
nevertheless,
trying to stop it.
let's
A
check this
new
out.
groundbreaking lawsuit, arguably one of the most important lawsuits in history, has just been filed against one of the most powerful and secretive technology companies in America, Palantir Technologies, along with its billionaire founder, Peter Thiel, CEO Alex Karp, and the COO, Shyam Sankar. Now, the plaintiffs are listed anonymously in this complaint as John Doe and Jane Doe, but it's way bigger than just these names. They allege that Palantir has crossed a constitutional Rubicon, if you will, using its artificial intelligence systems to surveil, profile, and manipulate the American public without our consent. According to this 43-page verified complaint that I've read in federal court, Palantir software, the same tools that are used by the Pentagon, the Department of Homeland Security, and intelligence agencies, are allegedly being deployed domestically to monitor U.S. citizens, harvest our biometric data, censor online speech, and even interfere with elections. And it goes much deeper than all of that. The plaintiffs are accusing Palantir of developing what they call synthetic intelligence, technology that merges machine reasoning with human behavior prediction, pre-crime, Minority Report style stuff, effectively trespassing into the human mind.
You see? So you do have instances where they trespass into the human mind. Because you can think of something, literally, I did this a couple weeks ago. I thought of something, right? and the fucking ad popped up on my phone, man. So this devil, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, his knowledge has truly increased, okay? And you're about to see how far
They
he's
claim it
about to go
violates basic rights and
to
privacy, free
establish,
speech, cognitive
okay, this
liberty.
beast
Cognitive
system,
liberty.
okay?
It's a new phrase,
And they're going to
a term
explain it.
gaining
But
traction
let's carry
among
on.
digital privacy advocates, and I'm glad we're going to have this discussion. James Martinez is an MK Ultra whistleblower. He received information about this lawsuit a long time ago, and we had him on to discuss this extinction level event that is coming. And I was just speaking to James a few minutes ago, who said this is an accelerant. This is speeding up this extinction level event. And James joins us once again here on the show. James, great to have you back on the show. Thank you so much. And I have to say, your first appearance on our show was mind-blowing. People around the world, millions of people have seen that interview and are just stunned by what you revealed. But this takes it to the next level, no, with this lawsuit?
Yeah, it does. Because of certain technological advancements in the brain-computer interface community, what we're seeing now is multiple states are starting to begin the legislation to protect brain data. Now, Palantir is a collection company. It basically surveils and checks and takes all your data and synthesizes it to create a picture about a person, a place, or a thing. Now, since this is now very public in terms of what the company intends to do, it's been slowly preparing the public, and that was quite apparent when the presence was known at a very well-watched event that happened recently during the Charlie Kirk funeral, where Palantir was on the wall right next to the stage, as if they were sponsoring the event, which I found, I saw that as, yeah, it's a funeral, but it's a funeral for everybody. Based upon the immediate ecological effects of what technology does when you insert it and begin to use it. And when I'm talking about immediate ecological effects, that's a word that came from, was kind of coined by Marshall McLuhan, which basically says what happens when you introduce technology and how it affects the sensory balance in the brain between the senses and how you create your reality. Like, for instance, the immediate ecological effect of a fork would be to accelerate the amount of food you could get into your mouth. That would be an effect. With this technology, its effects will basically, they'll have access to all your data and then begin the model of who you are. You won't have authority over it unless you've done some very serious things in the courtroom. And it's going to eventually create complete paranoia because you'll have absolute zero privacy. We haven't had privacy for a while because of Google, but this, at this time, is an accelerant on top of all of it that is going to violate most of, if not all, our cognitive liberties, because now we're into predictive models of behavior.
Right, when they say cognitive liberty, that means the freedom to think, all right? And we know according to the scriptures, all right, in the book of Jeremiah, it speaks about a leopard, which represents who? Esau, right? And this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, and verse 6. Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them. Who is that lion? Talking about Esau. Who is it them? Our people, man. All right. So in this verse, the animals represent Esau, Edom. Okay, and his characteristics resemble that of these predators. Okay, because Esau right now he is the apex predator, man. Okay, he's able to keep his, he has his eye on everything, and it's going to say that later on in the verse. This is Jeremiah 5 and 6. Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them, and the wolf of the evenings shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Everyone that goeth out thence shall be torn in pieces, because their transgressions are many and their backslidings are increased. Okay, so that leopard that's watching over the cities is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He's able to watch over the cities. All right, due to this Palantir. You have something called flock cameras that's out now. Okay, flock cameras, and they're down there on every goddamn corner, man. And what are they doing? They're surveilling all you citizens of the United States of America, Babylon the Great. See, so your freedom is no more. Okay, and we've been telling you this, starting with our elders and apostles for decades and decades, that Esau's system that he's implementing and he's about to bring to pass, which is this beast system, you're not going to have any liberties, man. Okay, your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, all your rights and your amendments, all that shit is out the window in this, because we're already in a new world
Human
order,
behavior.
man.
And what is
All
that
right,
going to
and
mean
we
in court?
slowly but surely see
What's it going to
that
mean
your rights,
when
they don't exist.
you
Okay,
create the data
so let's
off of
keep
somebody
playing.
that's profiling that is a criminal, and the data, which is digital, can be broken into and changed? You have all these ethical problems and legal potential problems that are going to exist as an effect of this technology. There's just been recently a bill I was made aware of that the Democrats have drawn up to protect the first. It's a Brain Data Protection Act, essentially, and
See, a Brain Data Protection Act. Why do they have to create something like that, man? Well, because Esau, the so-called white man, he wants to do certain things to the citizens of the United States of America, specifically you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Seminole, Native American Indians, man. The fact that you have something called a Brain Protection Data Act is fucking, it's astounding. Why do you have to have a law like that? Well, Esau, he accomplishes the diligent search. So Bill Gates already has, believe years, decade, 2 decades ago, 20 years ago, there was an article that came out. It said Bill Gates has pretty much ownership of of people's bodies. He has patents when it comes to people's body because of certain technology that has been put inside of them. All right. So let's keep playing, man. All right, because this is nothing new that we've been talking about. This is something that's repetitive, and a lot of you jakes have gotten a warning multiple times, but you still have not taken heed. So when this system is fully mandated, you're going to be SOL, which means shit out of luck, man. All right, because you didn't take heed to the warning. All right, so the blood, according to Ezekiel the 3rd chapter, the blood is going to be upon your own hands because you didn't take heed to the prophet, the watchman's warning. And when the watchman warns you, guess what? The blood is off his hands. And that's why we go out here and do these lessons and teach on the highways and byways so we can wipe our hands clean, okay, from what's about to take place on you Israelites, man. All right? So let's keep
the
playing.
point of this
I'm
is
not going to
this.
play
When I came on
all
and
this
spoke
video.
about the extinction level
I'm not
event
going to
because of the
play half
fusion
of
of
it.
brain and computer
Then do a part
and
2.
quantum and what that
All right? But
does, what
nevertheless,
that ultimately is going to do, this the acceleration of this company, as I was contacted from people that are out there that are under already suffering enough from weapons, neurocognitive weapons being used against the public in the US right now. I get more email about that than you would ever imagine. And this is one of the effects is from this company. As it accelerates, you're going to see the biggest mental health breakdown in the history of history, because people won't know what's real and what is not and what can be faked. Because when you're screwing around and creating future predictive models on human behavior, now you can be charged by intention of the algorithm that says you hate your neighbor because they're some color, and you can be profiled. Not to mention that all this data they claim with all these gigantic bills that they're having in multiple states that they're going to protect your brain data. Really? You're going to protect our brain data? No. No bill law has ever been made that stopped anybody from doing anything. So this lawsuit here is an invitation for the entire human civilization to have a very serious talk about its future and the cutting off of our human spiritual component that makes us human, and we're not turning into machines until we have the big talk with everybody, because that's what really all of this is about. This lawsuit brings makes us human, and we're not turning into machines until we have the big talk with everybody.
What is he talking about? Let's rewind that. What is he talking about? What's the big talk with everybody, man? When Trump comes down with that mandate to get that MOTB, when society collapsed, man. That's the big talk, man. You see? So these whistleblowers, they know what the fuck going on, man. All right, and straight out of the horse's mouth. But guess what? Our people still think this is not going to take place in our time. This is something that's afar off, like it says in Ezekiel the 12th chapter, man. But no, this thing is close. You see, this thing is at the door. All right, society is collapsing. Hey, Trump and Iran, America and Iran has not came into an agreement. You see, and they said around the 4th of July, you know, the cost of living is going to pretty much skyrocket. All right, which is going to cause complete mass hysteria and chaos. You see, and then what's going to happen? Civil war. You know, and what is Esau going to do? He's going to roll out that MOTB. All right, he said, look, in order for society to get back on track, you have to take this. It comes with a $2,000 incentive, and it also is able to detect if you have any sicknesses or viruses or any of that. Okay, it can track to see if your child is where your child is at. This is how he's going to use this. Okay, this is how we believe Trump is going to do it. Okay, but this is, or God forbid, it's another president after him.
Because that's
But
what really all of
say
this
if
is
it
about.
is,
This
this
lawsuit
is going to be their
brings
plan
up
to roll
all
this thing
sorts of
out.
legal
Right.
issues having to
So
do
this
with
is
just
the big
privacy,
talk that
not
he's
to
talking
mention
about.
theft of data. And they're presuming, with all the data that they're stealing, are going to be stealing and spying on everybody, that that data is theirs, when they're going to argue that we voluntarily complied to go for all this. This is the problem with these big technology companies that are just way out of hand, and who these guys are working for, because it's already become highly politicized because of what's happened in Israel, where they were using Palantir technology there with the genocide and everything. So what does this mean? We've got people testifying about extraterrestrials in Congress. You've got genocide going across another side of the world. You've got a complete riots all over the United States right now. You've got, I mean, a whole ton of major activities are going on, whilst the real end of the show has to do with free speech, because they're already starting to legislate that. And this is going to be part of a tool that makes that legislation enforceable. So it's over. It is over unless people get involved with this, because the plaintiffs may be John Doe, Jane Doe, but it's you, the person that's watching this, you, the host, everybody, because this is the one battle that you can't walk away from and just like, oh, he'll take care of it. He's doing it over there. No, no, no. You've got to be prepared for this, because in Europe right uh, now they're requiring biometrics.
You see, everything is being biometric. It's switching over. It's transitioning to biometric. Okay, which bio means life or body, and metric means to measure. So everything is gearing up for their fourth industrial revolution, which is to merge man with machine. You see, so I'm gonna stop this video.